my channel, Glow with Candace, and if you're new here, welcome. I'd love to see you back. So hit the subscribe button down below to see future videos like this and more by me. And don't forget, hit that notification bell as well so you can be notified for any future uploads of mine. Today, we're gonna be going over a first time use, first impression, review, and swatches of the new eyeshadow palette from Too Faced, the Better Than Chocolate. I actually purchased this when it first came out, but unfortunately a few weeks ago my dog unexpectedly passed away. It's been really difficult, and so I'm finally at the point where I can feel like I can film again and not cry every time when I think about her or talk about her. But point mute on that. I don't really want to talk about that anymore. Let's move on to this stuff. So I want to go over this with you guys, compare it to the Melted Chocolate eyeshadow palette that Too Faced came out with a couple years ago. See if they're similar, if they're the same. If you have it, should you buy this one? And also just show you guys how it looks on, and of course do swatches for you and let you know how I feel at the end of this. So let's go ahead, dive in, and get started. All right, so here is the outside packaging of the Better Than Chocolate eyeshadow palette from Too Faced. It is indulge in an eyeshadow palette so deliciously exotic, buttery rich, and stylishly seductive, it'll have you falling in love at the first bite. This cocoa powder infused palette features 18 ultra creamy, rich, and chocolatey shades and pops of deliciously bold candy color. Velvety mattes, sugary shimmers, and melted metallics all work together in countless combinations to create the most naturally decadent looks you'll ever experience. And I'm just gonna read you what it says on the Ulta website. This is where I purchased it for $54. It says the same thing, what I read, and it is cruelty-free. It has a molten chocolate cake scent, and it's formulated without parabens. All right, you guys, this is the outer packaging. It's really neat. It is metal packaging, which I love. Too Faced metal packaging. I feel like their formula for these are always the best. It has this risen chocolate name here, Better Than Chocolate, and then it's just kind of like a matte there. Really pretty looking. And then we open it up, and it does have that chocolatey smell, which I absolutely love. I love when Too Faced palettes are just infused with a scent. But this is absolutely beautiful. You got a lot of pops of different browns and shades of shimmers and mattes and some metallics. Then you got some pops of purple, a blue, and then kind of like this golden color up here. Very pretty palette. I was kind of debating whether or not to purchase this just because I also own that other chocolate palette, the Melted Chocolate palette, which is this right here. But I chose to because it looks like this one has more mattes and it definitely has some variation. I'm gonna show you comparison of both. You guys can kind of see the difference there. So there is some similarities. This one over here is the Melted Chocolate. There's more shimmers and metallics than this one over here. So I definitely see some similarities, but there are some different shades as well. And in the new palette, the Better Than Chocolate palette, there's more mattes. It's not just mostly shimmers. That's the only thing about the Melted Chocolate, is it's a mostly shimmer metallics in that one versus this one. So that's why I chose to go with this one, because it has a little bit of everything, versus the Melted Chocolate. As you can see, it just has mostly shimmers, only like 4 shades of mattes without any glitter or shimmer. So that is why I chose to go with the new one. And two, I just love Too Faced palettes, especially in the metal pans. I feel like those formulas are just amazing. And names in this palette are pretty cute too. We have like Milk It and Buttercream, We have Gold Digger, Skinny Dipped, Ooey Gooey, Midnight Snack, Reality Chalk, Bitter Half, I'm the Dessert, Sugar Rush, Cake My Day, Bite Me, Lick the Bowl, Bless Your Tart, Nice Buns, What the Fudge, Brownie Points, and Sex and Candy. So we definitely have some fun names in there, and this palette just looks beautiful. Definitely mostly neutral colors, but you do have some pops of color if you like with the purple and the blue. So let's go ahead and dive into swatches. Now that we have done swatches, I'm gonna go ahead and do a look with these today. First, I'm going to set my eyes with a concealer to have a base. So I'm going to set my concealer with the lightest shade in this palette just because normally I use setting powder, but I want to use as many colors as possible to show you guys how it looks. So I'm actually going to go with Bite Me. I feel like it's a good nude color to go in with. This color right here. And I'm just going to go in with a blending brush and just spread it all over the eyelids. My brushes will be stained while doing this eye look, but I have an awesome tool. I will leave the link up above here if you're curious of learning about this amazing tool. I highly recommend when doing eye looks. So it dusts off the pigmentation and it will clean off the brush, that way it doesn't transfer other colors when I'm diving into a new color. Now I'm gonna go in with Brownie Points, this darker chocolate here, and I'm gonna go in with the blending brush, kind of like the outside area, and blend outward on both sides. So I'm really wanting to try this green out. It's a little daring for me, this Sex and Candy. I'm gonna go in with a flattened brush and kind of put it towards the middle of my eye area, but also kind of towards the outer corner. Now I'm gonna take a more refined blending brush and kind of blend the colors together. So now I'm gonna take the flattened brush and go in with Milk It, kind of like into the corner of my eye. I kind of like how light it is, so kind of want to put it towards the corner area here. And the Sex and Candy got lost a little bit, so I'm gonna go in with just a little bit more and just tap it in. All right, guys, I finished the eye look. I'm gonna do the rest of my makeup off camera, and when I come back, I will show you the final look and my final thoughts of this. All right, guys, I finished my makeup. I did not do my hair. I got a baby that needs my attention, so I'm just trying to do this quickly. So my hair, I just threw up in a bun, or I should say I kept in a bun, but I will show you guys an up close look of my eye look. So here are my thoughts. I think this is a beautiful eyeshadow palette. However, do I think it's a necessity to have? No. If you don't have these kind of colors, and if you're wanting a nice eyeshadow palette for this kind of look, I think it would be great, but if you already have a lot of these colors, or if you have a lot of Too Faced eyeshadow palettes, I wouldn't go out and buy this. I think it's similar to the Melted Chocolate eyeshadow palette, but this one has a lot more mattes in it versus the other one has a lot more shimmers, so I think they're different enough. If you already own the one, it couldn't hurt to buy this one if you don't already have these colors in other eyeshadow palettes. I think it's beautiful. The colors swatched beautifully. I think it's a beautiful palette. There's not a whole lot of different color variations. It's a more neutral palette. There are some couple little purples and a blue in there, but mostly you're gonna get a lot of like brown, neutral, mauve looks with it. So if you are wanting that kind of thing, then I think this is a great eyeshadow palette for you. If you're looking to start adding to your makeup collection, or you're just starting out, I think this would be a great palette to have to start out with, especially if you're just toying with a few little colors and you don't want to go too wild. This is a great palette to start out with. To someone who already owns a lot, I don't think this is something you need to add to your collection unless you are a collector. The formula is beautiful, it swatches beautifully, it blends beautifully. Like Too Faced always masters that in these kind of tin packaging. I do love buying, when I buy from Too Faced, I love this type of formula. It's just the best. However, did I need it? Probably not. Do I love it? Yeah. I don't know how much I'll reach for it though, because I do have a lot of eyeshadow palettes with these kind of colors. But it's also a nice, not too big palette I can travel with, because I do have some bigger palettes with similar colors that aren't too travel friendly, and sometimes you just want different shades of browns and a few pops of color, but not a whole lot of craziness. So those are my thoughts on this eyeshadow palette. Like I said, it retails for $54. I bought on Ulta online. You can also buy on the Too Faced website, and you might even be able to buy in store. Thanks for stopping by with Glow with Candace. I hope you enjoyed this review, first time use, first impression, and swatches of the new eyeshadow palette from Too Faced, the Better Than Chocolate. If you like what you saw, please hit the like button down below, and if you're new here and want to see future videos like this and more by me, hit the subscribe button down below. I'd love to see you back. But until next time, bye!